Several have asked for a little more detail on filling out the information sheet, so I wanted to make a quick 5 or 6 minutes here and share it with you. So first off, we want to find out the ask price of the house, of course, and any information we can. So go in with that general overview. If they're inbound calls, as soon they will be, and some of you are already getting those, then you're going to, of course, need to find out those things from the get-go. Many times though, when you're dealing with FSBOs, you already have some of that basic information, like the asking price is published. So the first thing we get on the phone, we say, hey, Bill, it's Andrew calling. I was interested in your house on 123 Main Street. Is that still available? That's always how I open my call, immediately. Now, there's gonna be one of two things from there. Number one, most of the time it's just gonna be a yes. And on occasion they're gonna say, yeah, are you a realtor or buyer? I immediately chuckle and say, I'm a buyer. I'm sure you're getting tons of calls from realtors, huh? And that's the opening line, right? We want to immediately establish that connect within those first 30 seconds. Next, say, okay, so it looks like it's in good shape. I normally say something about the house, like, looks like it's in good shape, or it looks like you're taking awesome care of it, but it's a little dated, or tell me a little bit more about the property. So my whole objective is to create that connection and open that can of worms for them to start telling me all about the property. And sometimes when I say that, then they start telling me a lot. Sometimes they tell a little. So you're gonna have your sheet, your property information sheet, either electronically or a paper in front of you, so you can fill out whatever they're telling you that's blanks on the sheet. Then, after you get through them telling you any details that opens up, then you're gonna say, okay, you're asking $369 for the house, right? Or whatever you see the ask price is. Then you say, well, it looks like a nice place. Let me ask you, why are you looking to sell? So immediately I ask that question. That opens up a new Pandora's box of opportunities for them to tell you all about the property and the situation. Now, with those two questions I just gave you, many times they answer a lot of the additional questions that you were about to ask, like debt amount, like whatever, a lot of details about the property. So once we get through those two, then we continue on with any of the things they haven't told us, like, awesome, well, a couple more questions. Is the house, you still have a mortgage on it, or is it free and clear? And then we wait for their answer. We find out, say, okay, do you know if it has a mortgage? You know about how much is left on that mortgage? Now, our whole objective, regardless of mortgage or no mortgage or anything, is to find out this key question. So the objective is get from that 30 seconds to this ending. And this is the magic question. Would you consider selling the house and letting us make you a monthly payment until we pay you off in full, if we could pay a great price and close whenever you want? Now, you ask that question, and it's going to be one of three things: either no, and if it's an emphatic no, then it's probably a suspect. And sometimes no means I don't understand what you're talking about. And so we want to listen and start learning as rapidly as possible which no it is. Is it a no like, no, I've already been down that road, I have no interest? Or is it a no like, I don't understand what you're talking about? 2, yes, we would consider that, which at that point you have a prospect, a potential deal, and then that's where you're going to want to move to a closing call, which we'll be talking more about. And then thirdly, and probably close to half the time, it's going to be kind of a wishy-washy, like, I don't know, or no, or I hadn't heard of that. When you get that, say, okay, well, I would love to tell you more about it. When's a good time that we could connect? I'm going to do a little more research on the property, and when's a good time we could connect? And boom, you're going to immediately schedule a closing call. Now, for those of you who are experienced, I want you to just move straight into that closing call. There's no reason to get off the phone and schedule it. But for anyone who's new, who's watching this, we just want to get this sheet filled out on the opening call, and that way we can move to a closing call as soon as possible with the appropriate help. So Make sure you have at least 5 of these filled out per day. That's your objective, that's your mission. That is the key, the life flow to this business. If you can have 5 of these filled out per day, you'll be starting to build some momentum. Any questions you have, just comment them and I'll be answering each question. I'll see you soon.